The air around the ancient temple seemed to grow impossibly still. Even the breeze that had carried the scent of pine through the mountains moments earlier now faded into silence, as if nature itself had paused to witness what was about to be spoken. The worn stone steps stretched behind them, unchanged by time, yet heavy with memories that only one person had carried for nearly 3 decades. Misuk stood between her daughters, her hands trembling at her sides. For years, she had rehearsed this confession in the privacy of her own mind. She had imagined speaking these words thousands of times, only to swallow them back down each time fear tightened around her heart. She believed that silence had been the only way to protect the people she loved.
Seo-yeon and Se-hee stood opposite one another, both exhausted from years of suspicion, resentment, and unanswered questions. They had spent their entire lives believing that the truth lay somewhere between them, that one sister had always been loved more, favoured more, chosen more. Every misunderstanding, every painful memory, every rivalry had led them to this single moment. Misuk slowly lifted her eyes toward the temple stairs. Her voice was barely more than a whisper. There was another child. The words struck both sisters like a sudden winter wind. Neither of them spoke. Neither of them moved. Misuk continued, her voice shaking beneath the weight of memories she had buried for 29 long years. Before either of them was old enough to remember, before this endless cycle of heartbreak had ever begun, there had been a little boy. His name was Han-jun.
He was only 4 years old. She described him with a sadness so deep, it sounded as though she had lost him only yesterday. He had been endlessly curious, forever chasing butterflies through temple gardens, laughing as though the world existed only to delight him. His tiny hands were always reaching for hers, and every morning he greeted life with a smile that could soften even the hardest heart. He was the light of their family, until one ordinary afternoon became the day that shattered everything. The family had visited this very temple, just as they did every year during matchmaking season. It had always been a place where generations came to pray for blessings, guidance, prosperity, and love. To everyone else, these stone steps were sacred.
To Misuk, they became the place where time stopped. She remembered looking away for only a brief moment. Just one moment. A voice had called her name. Someone had asked a simple question. When she turned back, Han-jun was already running toward the staircase. His tiny feet slipped against the ancient stone. She screamed. She ran. But no mother could outrun gravity. The temple bells echoed through the mountains as her little boy tumbled helplessly down the endless flight of stairs. When she finally reached him, the laughter that had filled her world only moments before had vanished forever. The mountain became silent. So did her heart. Neither Seo-yeon nor Seo-hee had ever heard this story before. Not once. Not in childhood. Not in adulthood. Not even by accident. Misuk confessed that after the funeral, the family made an unspoken agreement. No one suggested it directly, No one gathered everyone together to make the decision.
It simply happened. They stopped saying Han-jun's name. His toys disappeared. His photographs were quietly packed away. His room slowly became another room. His birthday came and went each year without acknowledgement. The silence became part of the house itself. They believed forgetting would hurt less than remembering. But grief does not disappear simply because it is ignored. It waits. It grows. It changes shape. As the years passed, Mi-suk carried the unbearable weight alone. Every smile she forced for her daughters hid another layer of sorrow. Every family celebration reminded her of the child who was missing from the table. Every visit to the temple reopened the wound she never allowed herself to heal. Eventually, her grief became stronger than reason. Desperate mothers often search for impossible answers. Mi-suk found hers within these temple walls.
Many years ago, long before age had silvered her hair, she met a young temple shaman named Haewon. At that time, Haewon was still learning the ancient spiritual traditions passed down through generations. She understood rituals few people still believed in, rituals whispered about more as legends than reality. Mi-suk begged her for the impossible. She did not ask for wealth. She did not ask for happiness. She asked for only one thing. One chance. Just one chance to save her son. She was willing to give anything. Haewon warned her that grief has a dangerous way of bending the heart toward impossible bargains. Some losses, she explained, belong to fate itself. Trying to undo them could disturb forces no human truly understands. But Mi-suk refused to leave. Every tear she shed became another plea. Every prayer became another promise. At last, Haewon performed an ancient ritual beneath the temple's oldest bell, believing she was offering comfort to a broken mother.
Instead, she awakened something neither of them expected. The ritual did not bring Han-jun back. The past remained unchanged. His death could not be erased. But something else changed instead. A single ordinary day began repeating itself. Again, and again, and again. Not immediately, not dramatically. The resets came quietly, almost unnoticed at first. Only Mi-suk remembered. Only she realized that every year, as matchmaking season returned and her family walked these temple grounds once more, time folded back upon itself. Each reset offered another chance. Not to save Han-jun, but somehow to keep the family that remained from destroying it. Without understanding why, Seo-yeon and Seo-hee were drawn into the current of the loop. They lived the same day over and over, carrying faint echoes they could never explain. Familiar places felt strangely familiar. Certain conversations felt as though they had happened before. Fear arrived before danger. Anger surfaced without reason. Neither sister ever knew they were living inside their mother's unanswered prayer. Mi-suk lowered her head,
as tears finally escaped the prison she had kept them in for nearly 30 years. Her voice cracked beneath the weight of countless forgotten lifetimes. I have watched this day begin again more times than I can count. She looked at Seo-yeon first, then at Seo-hee. I believed that if I kept trying, if I kept praying, one day both of you would finally come through this day safely. Her breathing grew uneven. But every single time, somehow, one of you ended up hurting the other.
She closed her eyes. I couldn't understand why. A tear rolled slowly down her face. Then I finally realized something. Her voice became almost inaudible. Grief that is never spoken aloud never truly disappears. It has to go somewhere. Her eyes met those of both daughters, filled not with judgment, but with immeasurable regret. And without ever meaning to, I let it live inside the two of you. The truth settled over the temple like falling snow. For the first time in 29 years, no one spoke. Because there were no words large enough to carry the weight of what had finally been revealed. This story continues. Don't miss any part of it.